Hello YouTube, it's been quite a while, but I figured I'd give you an updated toolbox tour after several requests, and I'm going to have some changes coming up, so I'll figure I'll kind of document my setup that I have right now before we go to our, to my new setup I should say. A little bigger, a little more room. Of course this has changed a little bit since the last time you guys saw it. There's my old bottom box underneath the workbench right there. So I went to a larger bottom box, just expand a little bit, and filled it up too, more or less. So I made another upgrade. I just want to do a quick documentation of this one, give everybody a little bit of an update of where I'm at. So try to make this brief. So we'll start up top. Sorry for the camera work here. Okay. Stickers, like usual. Top, pry bars, breaker bars, just a bunch of random stuff in the top, more or less. Still the screwdrivers up here. Really haven't done too much different with that. Snap-on, Craftsman. Again, I'm not gonna say it 1,000 times like my first video. Most of the stuff here that's Craftsman is USA made stuff. A couple overseas stuff, but most of it is USA, and that's the last I will say about that, I promise. SAE wrenches, this is kind of like the overfill. But again, all this stuff is SAE, some vintage stuff up here. And I'm not gonna go into too much of the detail on them, but you know, maybe when I get into the new setup, then I'll go a little more detail on it. But old brands like Bonnie and Destro, things like that, Thorson. I got a lot of vintage stuff up here too. Of course, some newer stuff up here like these Genius 0-degree offset, the long box wrenches. Those are really nice. Made in Taiwan, but they are really, really nice. SAE stuff. This is the main SAE drawer. Craftsman. Icon ratcheting, old school gear wrench back there. Metric stuff, again, Craftsman over here. I have a good old gear wrench over here. A lot of stubbies and whatnot, crow's foot. Again, I'm gonna skip over some stuff here, so again, we'll catch up hopefully in the next video when we get the new setup. Ratchets, you see it's expanded a little bit. Matco, Snap-on, Craftsman, Icon, you name it. There's quite a bit in here. 3/8 and quarter, this is my 3/8 and quarter stuff. Some short sockets. Again, well, I have so much space for a lot of tools. This is my 3/8 and quarter inch, primarily all the chrome stuff. Again, most of it's Craftsman. There's some SK in there, Carlisle. This stuff right here, this 12-point SAE stuff, that's kind of like a mixed bag set I put together. Again, got some old school brands in here, Proto and old Challenger stuff and things like that. Kind of a little eclectic mix. Some swivel sockets, or wobble sockets, if you want to call them that. Same thing in here. SAE stuff there, metric stuff back here. So all my 3/8 mids, quarters, metrics, there's all 3/8 over here, some bits up front, some triple squares right here. This is my 1/2-inch drawer, mostly, you know, half impacts, half chromes, if you can pretty much tell that. SAE and metric. Again, I try to keep it all here because I work on small engines and stuff like that. Fairly frequently, which does have a lot of SAE. I understand vehicles nowadays are mostly metric, so, but I still have a fair amount of both to keep situations covered. Then right here, overrun of 1/2-inch stuff, mostly shallow stuff, some 12 points and whatnot. This is SAE, metric on this side. I got a 3/4 inch set back here, old Craftsman set. Pass-through socket set. And then again, another overrun of just some vintage stuff. I've been going to, you know, I haven't gone in a while, but in some pawn shops, getting some vintage stuff. And it's amazing. Some of these old brands you can see, like New Britain, things like that. Just nice to have, to collect some of this stuff. So some of that stuff I don't use, just kind of there to have. Pliers. I have some Pittsburgh stuff over here. Craftsman, Tecton, here and here. Some bigger Craftsman, Tecton back there. Even some Doyle. Channel lock. Again, it just runs the gamut. You know, even you know, vice grips, whatnot. Again, just runs the gamut in here. Allen or hex keys. Got picks, punches. A little more of an overrun of metric stuff. Icon ratcheting, metric. These are my Genius metric 0-degree offsets. A couple adjustables. Craftsman Professional offset box wrenches. Demolition drawer. You know, when things go wrong, or you just need to break out some persuasion. Hammers and whatnot, deb blows, stuff like that. Torque wrenches, again, just the Pittsburgh stuff, but it works. Voltmeter, little Bluetooth scan tool, just, you know, some diagnostic stuff, just minor stuff. Again, I'm not fixing a lot of cars on the side, just my own stuff, family, friends, things like that. It's more like the power tool, well, the impacts, which is now starting to be taken over by battery stuff, power stuff on top. Got a Milwaukee ratchet. Then you get the Milwaukee 3/8 stubby impact though, because I'm using my air stuff less and less. A couple air hammers in the back. Still have, you know, 1/2-inch impact right there, 3/8 air impact for the tougher stuff. But you know, this stuff, it's nice having the battery stuff, but bust out the airline and drag that around. It's nice not having to drag that around. Just over here real quick. Oil filter wrenches to spark testers, interior trim pry tools. Just a random bunch of stuff in this drawer. Again, sorry blowing through it so fast. We'll try to catch up in the next video on this. Pullers, some bars. I use these axle nut sockets. Doing a great job. Put that over the stud and then put your lug nut back over it to hold the rotor on a little bit better. Inner tie rod tool, some stuff like that. A couple of lines, Evercraft, crow's feet. These are line crow's feet. E-Torx, long Torx, just an oil filter socket set. Total junk drawer in this one, and we have scissors to hacksaw blades, you name it, some lights, socket rails, clamps, so various kinds of clamps and whatnot. Oops, sorry about that, guys. Just switching hands. Some case stuff. OBD1 reader out of an 89 Mustang, the only vehicle that's OBD1, so I got this code reader for it. I've used it, and I've needed it, and it's fixed what I need to fix. Rear caliper, brake wind back tool for the parking brakes, thread chaser, hole saw set, and spare impact driver. I got another one up in the other drawer. I'll show it to you in a minute. Power steering pump pulley installer. I'll just squeeze over here real quick. This box really hasn't changed at all. This is pretty much the same as you guys remember it. Just sealants, lubricants, things like that. Just odds and ends stuff right there. Drills, bits, miscellaneous hardware. Tap and die set, extractors. Got a tap socket set in here. Wiring, electrical, butane, soldering iron, strippers, just electrical repair kind of stuff. Seal installer, bearing race installer kit, time and light. Got some sanders down there. Mass airflow. Oh, sorry, throttle position sensor, adjusting meter for my Mustang. I'll just bounce over to the other side of the main bottom cabinet here. My 3/8 impact stuff, metric and standard, swivels. These are 3/8 and some 1/2 inch stuff. It's my other impact driver, wheel lock socket set. Compression tester and just various air gauges, stuff here. Various air accessories, we'll say. We'll say this is the homeowner drawer. Just some pry bars and staplers and things like that. Let's see what that is. Self-explanatory here, just some various wire brushes. I know again, running out of room, guys, so I just stuck this in here for now. A little plastic pop rivet tool. Your personal protection, masks and gloves, and hearing protection, safety goggles. Then down here, my old DeWalt battery-powered drill, which is going to get replaced because the batteries are just beat. It's a battery tester, a couple angle grinders, heat gun. And that's more or less it. And the box that's underneath there, and my old bottom box just has just storage. I mean, from electrical cords to spare parts to things like that. Didn't want to get rid of it, so I just made room underneath the workbench and actually kind of made a nice home for certain things that were just kind of hanging out in shelves randomly. But again, this is my home box. I'm not a mechanic. I do work in the automotive industry, but not a mechanic. But I just like tinkering with stuff, mostly small engine stuff. Working on friends and family's cars, my own vehicles. So I do have a lot of tools. Some of them may not get used. I understand that. But I like to collect some of it. Some I like to just use and have on hand when I need it. It's there. But again, this is just a quick overview. I know it's been at least a couple of years since I did the tour. Just give you guys an update, show you where I'm at. And then when I get into the new setup, we'll kind of go a little more in depth, go over some of the brands and things like that, the run the gamut that I have. Again, I have Craftsman from Carlisle and Snap-on, Matco, and old school brands like New Britain. And I'll show you this kind of real quick up here. Found an old 1946 New Britain hand tools ad. So started collecting a little bit of the New Britain stuff. The guy I know is heavily into New Britain hand tools here in Connecticut. So give me a little bit of inspiration. But at any rate, just want to wrap this up, try to keep this somewhat quick. And sorry, the video's a little shaky. I'm just trying to run through it quick. But we'll make a little bit better tour for you guys when we get the new setup going. And maybe we'll do a little garage tour as well. And go through the workbench. And my son, who was in the middle of doing some wiring for airsoft rifles. Him and his buddy were working last weekend. So this stuff's still a little bit of a disaster. But anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Sorry it's been so long, YouTube. But we'll be back and we'll make another video. Make it a little bit better, and we'll show you the new setup, and we're going to get it all set in place. Take it easy, be well, be safe, and go out and vote. Don't forget to vote. I don't care who it's for, just go out and vote. Take it easy, folks. Bye-bye.